Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be comparing the old Tomoe River paper with the new Tomoe River Paper S and just giving my honest thoughts on the new paper for 2024. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the old paper. This is paper from 2022, so this is the old paper, and I'm just going to run over some of the most commonly used supplies on each. So I have a couple different pens here and some markers and brush pens. So number one, this is going to be fountain pen ink. Next, I'm going to test a very commonly used gel pen. This is the Muji gel pen in 0.7. This is my favorite gel pen to use, or one of, I should say. This is the Pentel Undergel Clenna. This is the Uni Jetstream, and it is the pen that is said to be the most compatible with the Hobonichis, as this is the pen that is given to you, or not this specific one, but something more like this. But again, the ink is the same. And this is a ballpoint. And then just grabbing another standard ballpoint pen, the Pentel RSVP, just for comparison's sake. I'm going to grab a fine liner as well. So this is a Copic multi-liner, and this is 0.5, so the tip is a little bit big. And then again, one of the most popular, this is a mild liner, and again, arguably the most popular highlighter that is used. And I'm just going to label that as well. Another very popular marker to use is the Tombow. This is a brush pen. And then finally, I'm testing out something that again is pretty popular, but not as. These are the Zig Clean Color Dot markers. I will do a smudge test, which I should have done at the beginning, so I apologize. So the Tomoe River paper in general is going to have pretty bad smudging just because of the type of paper. This is carbon black fountain pen ink, that's why it is resisting the smudging. But let's turn it over and just get a look at the bleed through. So I'm seeing ghosting with the fountain pen, but no actual bleed through. With Muji, I am seeing bleed through. It's coming through a couple points here. With the Pentel, I'm also seeing like very near bleed through. I can see some saturation there. It's not actually coming through, but it's extremely close. And then even with the ballpoint pen, there are some spots. This one is the Uni Jetstream. I am seeing that coming through as well. In both ballpoints, actually. And so I think it's the fine liner and the fountain pen that are holding up best, where they're just ghosting, no bleed through. And then the rest, both the gel and the ballpoint, I can personally safely say that I do see bleed through here, even in these three samples. Where I'm looking at the markers, I can see peeking through, and I'm not sure if that's coming up on camera, but that is one thing that actually kind of peeves me, is people kind of raving about the Uni Jetstream ink, because for me personally, I have always had an issue with bleed through, and I don't know why that is not talked about more. But with the markers, all three are ghosting, but very minimal bleed through. I can see here just the mild liner at the top there, but the other two are not bleeding through. And then moving on to the new Tomoe River paper, let me zoom in here, and I'm just gonna clamp the page down really quick. So I'm just gonna do the exact same thing as I did before. So immediately what I'm feeling on the new fountain pen, or the new Tomoe River paper, is that there's a lot of drag with writing with a fountain pen. For me personally, it feels a lot more scratchy, and it feels as though the nib of my fountain pen is digging into the paper a lot more and kind of getting stuck. This is the Muji gel pen. And then we have the pen towel. In terms of how the ballpoint or the gel pens are writing, I would say it's pretty similar. I'm not noticing such a big difference the way that I was with the fountain pen. This is the Uni Jetstream. And then just the other ballpoint pen, the RSVP. With the ballpoint, I'm noticing that same kind of drag that I am with the fountain pen, but I actually don't mind it with the ballpoint pen, because if paper is too slippery for ballpoint, for me personally, it's like it almost gives me too much freedom and my handwriting gets worse. And then I'm just gonna have the fine liner here. Fine liner definitely feels more rough. And like, again, similar to the fountain pen, I can feel it digging in. Moving on to markers, we have the mild liner. On the new paper, I would say that it shows pigment more with the markers and the Tombow. And then I'm just gonna do the dots here. I will do my unofficial smudge test like before. So interestingly enough, yeah, this seems to have better smudge resistance. And then if we take a look at the bleed through, it is definitely, I can bring the other one in for comparison here. So if we look at the squares, I would say that there is more definitive bleed through here. Still, the fountain pen is just ghosting, but in terms of the Muji gel pen and the Pentel gel pen, they are bleeding through officially. And then the Jetstream as well, I can see it coming through here. I can bring that in closer. You can see that, like, I consider that bleed through. But the RSVP, I would say, is just ghosting, and the fine liner as well looks to be just ghosting. And kind of similar results here with the bleed through slightly there, and then the rest seems to be okay. But again, you can see the Uni Jetstream is definitely bleeding through as well. And I can just leave a little comparison there for you to see. And I can show you the swatches side by side as well. Let me see if I'll just try and zoom out a little bit. So there they are. You can definitely see this is more vibrant here, and less smudge. So that I can really appreciate. I do like that there is less smudging. My only complaint with the new paper is that for me it does feel significantly more scratchy. So, you know, you kind of have to see which aspect matters the most to you. If it's going to be like bleed through that matters most, then, you know, this is probably a little bit worse. But if smudging matters the most, this is going to be a little bit better. And if actual like writing experience is going to be the biggest thing, which for me I think it is, then I would actually prefer the old paper, just because I feel like I usually write with fountain pens and it feels scratchy in this book. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I wasn't just rambling and you actually found this kind of helpful. I know that the smudge test I did was really unofficial and I can definitely redo it if anybody would like. But it was kind of just for me to rant a little bit because I don't know how much of a fan I am of the new paper. But let me know in the comments down below which one you prefer, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.